Welcome in, everybody, to... It's been a while since I've been on a stream, so... Just getting back into it. We had the Raw after Mania tonight. I'm going to have a Mania review show to a certain degree. I don't know how detailed it'll be, but we will have that here very soon as well. So, just going to fix a few things here. All right, so, yeah, good Raw after Mania tonight for sure. So if you're new to the channel, hit a like and subscribe for me. Really appreciate it. And we're going to kind of just go through this, man. I mean, Cena's coming out with a promo to start us off. And really the way that ended, I mean, that was so much needed last night. Was such a letdown at the end. I see a lot of people online saying it's the worst Mania of all time, all this kind of stuff. I don't go that far with it. I don't think it was the worst Mania of all time because I think that really poo-poo faces, the whole undercard. Like, they did great. They did some great things in the undercard. There were some good matches. The Triple Threat Women's comes to mind from last night. Some good matches on the card. I saw everybody hating Night 1. I really don't get why. But we won't get too far into Mania. I want to do that on a different episode. I'm going to break that down a little bit more. Maybe have a guest on or something like that to do that as well. But yeah, we'll jump right in. We won't be too long in the tooth. I know I'm not going to probably have too many streamers. Hopefully there are some people coming in and joining us here at moments. So bear with me. I'm going to try to bring up my chat here just in case anybody wants to pop in and say a word or two. Probably have too many streamers. Hopefully there are some people coming. That way I can see the chat. I'm kind of doing this on the fly. Set up OBS yesterday, so kind of doing this on the fly. But yeah, just initial reactions overall from Raw tonight. Like, holy cow! Why? And it kind of makes you mad at the same time. It's like, you give us an episode like that. If you're churning out episodes like that, and it wasn't like we had some, big debut of some old head or anything like that necessarily. We were working with the people. And I'll include NXT stars in this too. We're working with the people that are on the roster. We're not flying in the rock. We ain't got this Travis Scott idiot out there. We ain't got any other idiots involved that don't need to be involved. And I'll go back to a lot of those episodes leading up to Mania especially. You had your Burt Kreischers. You had, Hinchcliffes. You had the other little Hispanic looking comedian guy. You had all these other different people around that I get. Mania's got the celeb influence, they like to say. They never really did. They were just there. It didn't like we needed them in any way. We could have been without them and had all those Mania moments from the past would have been the exact same, regardless of celebrity involvement. They really would have been. Maybe, I'll lend more to the Mike Tyson being at Mania 14. Liked him being there. But that's what I liked about this show. There wasn't any of that, really. Outside of, McAfee's crew at that point trying to break in there and help their boy and all that kind of good stuff. You really didn't see, a lot of run-ins or just unnecessary things, in my opinion, in this show. And it makes you go, hey, so you can do it. It's like in baseball. Like, you showed me you caught the ball, so you can catch a ball. So you should be able to catch that ball just about every time. That's kind of how I look at this. It's like, you showed us here tonight. You know how to book a good show. You know how to execute a really good show on a Raw. If we can get this level of Raw every week, hey, everybody's tuning in. Everybody's loving it. You're not going to lose your fans. Hopefully people that, gave Raw tonight a chance, you're kind of lost Joe. More of your fair weather fans, hopefully. They came back tonight because I think this would have kept them around. It's going to keep me around. I'm kind of been that. I've been a fan a long time. But, here in the last 15 years, I'm almost 40. So here in the last 15 years, it's been very, what's the word? Just in and out. I always kind of keep an eye on Mania season for sure. It used to make jokes. It's wrestling season. Football ended. It's time for wrestling season. And then when Mania's over, we're geared up for the next sport or whatever's going on, baseball or something like that maybe. But, yeah, just overall great show, and we'll break it down here in a minute. But just like that off the top, not a lot of filth or filler with bullcrap we don't want to see. It was everybody that's a wrestler on the card being utilized in a good way, and we'll definitely see that really fun way there at the end. I really liked what happened there. I liked that alliance. I like how it's really going to what a way to elevate a guy like a Braun Breaker. That's going to be a way to really elevate him. So, yeah, right off the tip, love that. So, we'll get right into it. I don't want to be too long in the tooth here. I'm really just doing this starting off just to work out some kinks, make sure my audio's good, make sure everything's good here, and make sure I got a good setup because I'm kind of new again to the OBS. So, bear with me, on all that. As we get going here. So just to open the show, I will disclaim this with I missed little bits and pieces of the show. My son had a baseball game and I was watching it on the live stream. So they wrapped that game about 7:15. So I got in about 15 minutes late. Luckily Cena was still babbling on. So I caught the gist of what he was saying. He's there to ruin wrestling, and saw him counting down the days or his dates of availability, and he ain't got to defend this title if he don't want to. He can just show up. It's just appearances. It doesn't mean he has to have a match. He's kind of playing into that whole I'm here to ruin wrestling, trying to make up for whatever the hell that was last night. I was wanting to say you ruined wrestling nearly 20 years ago. But, whatever. I've played along nice the last few years when Cena's had his turn because, it is one of them, like, how can we miss you if you won't go away situations with him. He went away for a long time, and it made you kind of go, oh, okay, cool, Cena's here, and he's just kind of doing the part-time thing, and I can enjoy him more. And then they went with this whole heel thing. I still don't know if it's hitting for me. Not that I like him that much as a babyface either. It's just kind of is what it is. He comes out, he does his promo, and then you're kind of wondering who's going to come challenge him. Is Cody going to come out? Is Cody going to come out? Just to go off the beaten path with Cody here. I think Cody may be. We may not see Cody for a little while, and I think that's okay. For God's sakes, anybody needs to break its Kim, and I thought maybe we'd say the same with Gunther. I thought maybe Gunther would go away for a little while because hell, he had such a long run with the IC belt. Then he went right into the World Heavyweight Championship, and he's had that since SummerSlam or something like that, Money in the Bank. So, I really thought Gunther would be another one. Kind of going to go home, nurse his wounds, enjoy the fruits of his labor for a couple months, take a nice little sabbatical, and then pop in, maybe closer to SummerSlam or something. Just show back up. There's your big, big pop, big reveal at the end of the show. So-and-so's back, and let's see where we're cooking from here. So, but Gunther, he showed up, and we'll get into that later. That was fun as well. But Cody, nowhere to be found as far as I know. And now if I miss it, I do apologize, and you can let me know in the comments if he did show up, because there was probably about 30 minutes of the show I did miss. I missed a little bit at the front, missed a little bit around the Yeet Sammy promo. So I really don't know what they said. First I thought they were going to be vying for a title, then I saw them in the turnbuckles, kind of eating with the crowd. So I don't know what's going on with that. Honestly, don't care. Don't care about Jey Uso. I was hoping last night there'd be a good enough match to make me be a believer. That didn't happen. Or at Mania, I should say. That didn't happen. So I don't know what they're going to do with that guy. I say get that belt on, and if something else, what are we judging it on? At the end of the day, what are they judging? And we're going to this may not be the best formatted show. I'm probably going to go off a little, sorry, I'm having connection issues with my microphone. Can you hear me? Let me know if you hear me. All right, there you go. If you're here, drop say something in the chat. Ask a question if you got one. But yeah, so that sucked. I did have somebody in here and my audio was fucked up. Anyway, I'll just keep going then. When it comes to Jey, so you haven't done nothing to make me care about the guy. I don't know what they're gonna do. I say get the belt off him if he ain't cutting the snuff here in the next couple months. Throw the kitchen sink, try to make us care, because you got a fun entrance. Road Dogg Jesse James had a fun entrance. That mean he needed to hold the world title. thing, but there's been so many. Had great interest. Don't mean they needed to hold the world title. What was the guy? Enzo. Everybody loved that. They loved their little fucking thing. And we know he had heat in the back and what so, but would you throw the world title on him because everybody liked to chant along with him? No. No, same with Uso. And this isn't a... If you're just going to say this is a Lifetime Achievement Award and that's why we're giving it to him, then just say that. You know, and had him win it last night, have his little moment, and then fucking drop it tonight. We won't see it coming, and we'll love it. I was like, good, get it off of him. Thank you. Yeah, you had your moment, great. Now let's get back in the meat and potatoes and stuff. But as far as I can tell, like again, I didn't see that promo, so I don't know what happened there. Unless it's going to be some babyface gentlemen's let's have a match bullshit, and that's not where we need to go. No, we got to put this guy through the wars, make us a believer, like he should be there, because nothing to this point at all says he should have been a world champion, but he is. If you like him, hey, that's cool. You know, good for you, and you'll and hope you enjoy the ride. But and I'm trying to be as nice as I can be about it. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not trying to be a man screaming at clouds about modern day wrestling. But to call it like I see it, I just don't think the guy's a star. I don't think he's got star power. His nickname's Main Event Jey Uso, and he was the opening match of the whole 2-day show. Nah, bro, you ain't the main event of anything. You're the main event maybe at the bingo hall. That's about fucking it. So, anyway, we'll move on a little bit. But, yeah, Cena comes out. He's doing his spiel. Then, out of nowhere. No pun intended. Out of nowhere. Randy Orton comes in and drops the old RKO from behind. I like it. Just because if you're doing a Cena retirement tour, he had many foes over the years. And then some of them, luckily, are still working. Why not, right? Why not? Gives you I don't know if they're going to, we'll see how they push it. He hit the RKO, did his poses, and it was over. You really didn't know, where it's truly leading. Is this just a one-time thing, and then maybe at SummerSlam they wrestle? Or is this like, are we going to get it paid off here in the next few weeks at Backlash? Are they going to do a match at Backlash? I don't know. I don't know if they'll go that quick with it. But it makes me, what it does, I don't see Orton taking the belt off Cena. I think Cena's going to keep it. And here's my, what's the word I'm looking for here? Here is my wild pick of the night when it comes to this whole situation. We all get swerved. We get swerved. They have a match. Maybe they have a match. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know how they get there. I ain't saying I know how to book it or how it needs to be booked. But what I think may be the outcome here is Randy Orton goes heel too. And he joins Cena. And he joins, if The Rock ever shows up again, he joins whatever the hell they got going on. Whatever you want to call that stable. I like to say the Illuminati. Let them call themselves the Illuminati. Play it like that. The Illuminati of wrestling. Or whatever the fuck you want to do. I don't care. Call it whatever the fuck you want to. Call it the dreadful wrestling past. I don't know. But I can see Orton, I don't know what they'll do, but I could totally see him, that being a swerve, him going heel, and them trying to create this super stable of just old school top guys that are like, fuck all this new shit. We're going against almost like a Nexus thing, We're going against the young guys. Y'all got to come stop us. If y'all want this, Cody, build your army. We'll have a war games, whatever the fuck they want to do down the road. Though what it gets me excited about with Orton's involvement, I don't think it's going to be some lengthy thing that him and Cena are going to do here. Maybe a couple matches, but it gives me hope that we'll get a Punk Cena reunion match before here, because we've seen Punk, made some statements, especially even before the heel turn, was saying stuff about Cena. Like, I see you, he did all that. He kind of tapped into that old hate there for John Cena from back in the day. So I do think we're gonna get that at some point. Just a matter of when, matter how. I don't know if that's going to be the last guy. Is that who's going to take it off of Cena at the end of the year, towards the end of the year? Because I really do feel strongly that Cena is going to keep that belt till it's time for him to, like, his retirement's going to be losing that belt on his back clean and going in the sunset, getting a standing ovation, tears in the eyes, babies in the air, when he does walk off. But who's going to be the guy? I think that's kind of the question when you're looking at this thing as we take this path, is who's going to be that guy? I think Punk could be that guy that takes it off him as long as he stays healthy, of course. Looks like he's holding up better than he once did. But I can see Punk being that guy, and then maybe if you want to get it back on Cody, I don't care if you do or not. I guess in the grand scheme of keeping your mind on business and how these things work, and not just being a true blue fan person about it, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, I think it's going to get back on Cody at some point. Will it be next Mania? I know they keep saying main event this, main event that. Rollins said it tonight in his thing there at the end that, he was aware of the main event match at Mania. I don't know if that was a dig at the main event being dog shit, the true blue main event being dog shit, or what, but because I'm of the ilk night one, ending night one is not the main event. Unless you want to build a double main event. Like, hey, it's a double main event. Night one, we got this main event. It's a double main event. They used to do the double main event billings. They don't really bill it like that. They just say the main event of night one. I don't know. If the show ain't over, if you ain't the last fucking thing we see, then you're not the main event. And I apologize for that noise above me right now, too. I have a polar bear running across the roof of my apartment. Anyway, or my room, I should say. No, it's just my buddy upstairs. Anyway. So yeah, I think that's the only way to book that is, I'd say turn Orton heel in all this at some point. I mean, let's cook, let's see how we're doing. So we'll move along. It was a good show. It was a long show. Went by quick though. That's when you know it's a good show. It's a 3-hour Raw, but it went by I looked up and it was 9:30 and I was like, oh shit. I thought we still had another whole half of the show going, but man, we've blown through some segments. We really have, and they've all been enjoyable. I've enjoyed everything. So we come out of that, and immediately off the cusp, we find out. I don't know if they said it earlier on that we were getting the women's tag title match or women's tag title rematch from last night, but I was a little surprised by that. And I said, and I wrote down here, in this logic, where's Cody's? And Cody out there going, hey, Cena, motherfucker. Tonight on Raw, I get my rematch. I'm enacting the clause tonight. I want another one. And I want Aldis out here, and I want him or Pierce, whoever is running this shebang. I want them. I want some stipulations. I don't want any interference. I want whatever needs to be done with that. No rappers at ringside, please. But so we get the women's tag title rematch, and it was a whatever match. It wasn't bad. It wasn't necessarily breaking the ground. It was there for a purpose. And you've heard, and I saw some rumblings online of people saying, oh, they should turn Becky heel. With the whole, I saw people saying that when they were just really predicting that Becky was going to be that mystery partner last night, as she was. Saw a lot of people saying, oh, they should, make this whole thing of Bayley being hurt. Oh, Becky's the one that really did it. And that's how we get her over as a heel and la. And, they didn't do that. But they did it more of a hissy fit, which I feel like he could have done this at Mania. I felt like this would have been cool at Mania. Getting a hissy fit because they lost the match, lost the titles. I don't know if they just wanted her to have a good moment at Mania and leave and then do the heel turn tonight, but I think a heel turn would have meant more at Mania. That would have been big. You let them have that match. Let her be the mystery partner, everything like it went. Let them have that match, a good match. Lose at Mania. Becky furious because this is supposed to be her grand night coming back to the company after, some layoff. And here I've come back and we fucking lost because of you? Eagle girl? Bird girl? We've lost because of you? Now I'm kicking your ass at Mania. 60,000 are going nuts, and you're getting that reaction from them on that heel turn. Because night two, I think both crowds were good. I saw people bitching about night one crowd. I thought they were fine. I didn't think they had nothing to be excited about in the first couple matches. And it took the talent to kind of bring it out of them as the night went on, and because they were good as the night went on night one. And then night two, pretty much from the jump, they were good. But again, go back to what I just said. Opening match night two is the women. So it got the crowd engaged right from the get-go. And I'm trying not to get into a lot of Mania reaction. I want to do a separate video on that. But and I'm still going to try to do that this week. Get it out. I know it won't be matter much to too many people because it's a lot of those reaction videos already out. I was just kind of throwing this up at the last minute, so I jumped on Raw immediately, and it was a good Raw. So, but yeah, you get the Becky Hill turn. I like it. Here's what I want to see out of it, though, and maybe we'll get there. Maybe they just hadn't pulled the trigger on it yet, but I mean, her husband's with Heyman. Why not let Heyman start infecting into that women's division? Becky's your first Heyman. I'm a Heyman girl. There's the shirts, right? All the girls will love it. You'll sell a million of them suckers. I'm a Paul Heyman girl. You know, we always get the Paul Heyman guy shirts. I want to see the Paul Heyman girl shirt. Becky, boom, big, heel run. You got the stable. We see that opening up later in the show. I'll get into that. Why not get a woman in there? And it's now you're kind of, I guess, we're going to, I mean, Cena is, I guess, the top heel. He's not doing the best job, in my opinion. Who's really the top heel? I actually say that's the top heel right now with Heyman. That whole deal is the top heel. They closed the show on it tonight, which they should have did at Mania. They should have gave the triple threat the close and the turn. I think that would have been a better way to end Mania. I think it would have been enjoyable. Because, you know, whatever that disaster was last night was just not the way to go. And I think hindsight's 20/20, and I'm sure Triple H is going, fuck. Should have just made the Heyman spot, the Mania, the closer. Because I think we would have had some better reaction leaving out of the night 2. You know, if it left Sour Taste night 1, night 2 could have covered it all up. You know, and ended that show with night 2 would have covered all of the bad things that would have came out of that match with Cena. So, and I think it would have caught people off guard too. I think they would have thought, oh, Cena's night 1 main event, well, he's probably gonna win then. And then he'd have won, and oh wow, he actually won. And then this is all stupid though. Oh, I don't know about this. Oh, great match start night 2. We forgot already. You know, I hear like different wrestlers and stuff say from behind the closed doors. You know, it's about what you left them with last. You know, what is the last thing they saw? That's what they kind of go off of us as fans. And I think we're all guilty of it, right? Because we kind of are on a buzz right now. That was a great Raw. The last thing we saw was great, and that's what we're doing right now. So if you're in the chat, say hello. Drop a like, drop a follow, drop a subscription. So we'll move on though. Next thing we get New Day coming out with their new tag titles, and I think we did have a Gable speech here at some point. Again, I hit or miss on some of these spots. I missed a couple things, so I did see him out there talking. Wasn't sure what he was saying, honestly, when I was trying to get some stuff worked up here. But Alpha Academy comes out there. They want to challenge for the tag belts. Whatever. Who cares? It's all who cares at this point with this thing. I know they're trying. Hopefully they'll get something out of this whole thing. But then you get it all gets interrupted. And I'm sorry, I don't give two shits and a fuck about Rusev Day. Rusev himself. He looked like $1 million. I'll give him that tonight. He looked awesome. He looked like a machine. I don't know what they're going to do with him because you debuted him in the middle of a tag match. Well, he ain't got a tag partner with him. Like, why is he coming in a tag match to scare off your champs, make them look like bitches? 2 guys fucking dipped, and the other 2 guys got their ass beat. So I don't know what it did for anybody in the tag division. Rusev showing up. Nothing from what I can tell. And I don't know why he would show up. Why wouldn't you show him up in the Intercontinental title? Like, let him be in, come out and do something there. I know you got a lot of things cooking with that, and Finn, and blah, blah, fucking blah there with Finn. I love Dominic as champ, and we'll get into that more, but I'll just save that for that segment. But, no Lana. We knew that was not going to happen, but she was the best part of Rusev to me was Lana. Like, I love sitting there looking at her. Holler if you hear me. That was what I liked seeing was Lana when Rusev would come out. But he came out, looked like $1 million. He squashed everybody. But again, weird place to bring him back on the return. Major tag champs look like bitches by tucking tail and running. 2 dudes scared of one. Whatever the joke wrestlers with the Alpha Academy, they're your punching bags. They're just hanging on to a paycheck at this point. They'll leave. Tony will pick up something, and he'll pay them to sit on a beach somewhere. So at least they got that going for them. So moving on, EO comes out, does some talking. Some Lord Bonkaroo, as my friend would say. She comes out talking Hello Kitty jazz, and, I love Leo. She's great. She's a great worker. I don't know. Some people seem to not like her. I don't know why. Like, I saw a lot of people that disappointed her win online, and I don't get it. I was glad she kept the belt. I thought she deserved it. I wanted her to keep it last year when Bailey beat her. I thought that match. That's when I became an EO fan. Was last Mania. That's really I sat down and enjoyed a match of hers, and she can freaking go. And I wouldn't have took it off over last year. Whatever they did, but kudos on them. And they put her over two of their biggest female stars in Rhea and Bianca. So, but anyway, EO talks a little jazz, and then my woman of the week, bro. You're looking at me straight here. My woman of the week is this Stephanie Vakir. Whew, you talking about, man, hotter than a wet hen, boy. Oh my God, I'd crawl up in that and die right now. Give me to me. Hey, we ain't politically correct here, boy. She is a bad mamma jamma, and she can fucking wrestle. That was a good. Again, I'm a little distant from the programming here lately. Was amped for it Mania. Was getting kind of caught up in the season. Saw they were doing Stand and Deliver the other day. Kind of amped up for it. So I was like, you know what? I'll turn it on. I came in late, but I caught the Fatal 4-Way women's match that this Stephanie Vakir was in. Hell of a match. And she's a good worker, and she is just drop dead gorgeous. Got that Romanian voice. I could go on all day. She's my new crush. But she comes out here, gets a good pop. Everybody's like, oh, cool. She challenges EO right there on the spot. Pierce runs out. It looks like he's about to put the kibosh on this whole match. Like, no, y'all ain't doing this shit here. Next week on Raw, or at the pay-per-view, like whatever the case. But no, he comes out and says, hey, y'all want to see it? Crowd plays a little fan service. Everybody goes nuts. Of course, they want to see it. We get the match. Here they go. Get a couple segments. Like, it was a nice long match, which is good to see. Like, God, I love when they just have fucking multi-segment matches on Raw that are quality matches and let guys go. Because what I will say, if you just let these fuckers wrestle and not talk so much, it's better show. When they get the porn acting, they can't cut promos, most of them, let's be honest. Let's start working in some people that know how to talk as mouthpieces for a lot of these guys, because they can all fucking work. Like, just a lot of these people. And that's just men, women across the board, in my opinion. But Vakir comes up there, they tear the house down for a while. So much so that you're not going to get a clean finish with the champ versus champ. You don't want to bury either of them. Don't want to bury the new girl coming in. And you definitely want to bury EO. So they have just a hell of a knockdown drag out. And then it gets blown up by Roxanne Perez and this other chick. I missed her name. She looked good as well. They come in, break it up, kind of rough them both up. Rhea pops in for the save. She dispatches of the other NXT chicks that came in and broke shit up. Has a little bit of a moment there with EO. Tells EO she's coming for the title. Like, that she's coming for this still. So I was letting you know, okay, we're probably going to get a singles match between the two of them. Bianca did not show up in this. So we have not seen Bianca. I know they got the brand split stuff. I wish they just quit doing that altogether. I know it has more to do with scheduling of the guys, giving people time off and whatnot, but it's just so much to keep up with. Like, is Bianca SmackDown? Is that why she wouldn't show up? I know this is Raw after Mania. Usually all bets are off about who can be there. But yeah, she didn't come out here, so I'm assuming they're just moving her out of that kind of storyline for that belt. Because I know they got the Jade Naomi stuff kind of going still, I guess. So maybe just moving her into that grudge match situation. Because Bianca looks great. I'm sick of the hair, honestly. I know it's her thing, but I don't know. I'm ready for a fresh coat of paint on her a little bit. Like, I'm kind of bored with her, so I'm not mad to see her out of this situation and just let Rhea and EO cook and have a good match again. Because EO, of course, Rhea wants a piece of her. She took it from Rhea, and I think we eventually see it back on Rhea. But hell, I'd love EO put her down again and be like, nah, bitch, I run this, and we keep running with EO. But I know a lot of people don't like EO. Rhea has a lot of love, and I get it. She's worth every penny of it too. So. But anyway, that's how that ends, and that was a great part of the episode. And then I get up to get a sip of Tang, and I come back in, and I just see Gunther with Pat McAfee choking him completely out right in front of the announce desk, and it's just a melee scrum. And I'm thinking it was like McAfee's radio host buddies that were jumping in trying to stop all this from beyond the barrier. They jumped over the barrier and tried to come in safe. And what I will say, that's how the ferocity of these guys trying to get to their friend and the ferocity of the security trying to hold them back. That's what I want to see. Like, you see so many of these, like, security run-ins where they're supposed to, like, be breaking up something and they're They're not coming to break it up. They're coming to like negotiate it. It's like, no, you should be coming in there like a bouncer at a bar, and a big brawl's broken out in the bar, and you're trying to get the fucking brawl ended. And you're grabbing, and it's ferocious. You're taking an elbow. Things are happening. And I ain't saying it was like the perfect thing, but it was a lot better than what I'm usually seeing tonight when they were keeping these McAfee clowns at bay. They were, it was ferocious looking. Like they were really trying to get to McAfee to help. And Security's like, no, we're gonna let him get tapped out. Fuck you guys. But just the ferocity of that exchange is like, that gives you that attitude or feeling when like they were really trying to keep Austin and Tyson away from each other. They were, all those little moments where you did see that true, like, no, or they would be trying to break up Austin from jumping Bret Hart in the back, like trying to really get them off of each other. Or HBK and Bret Hart, when they'd get at it, they're really trying to get them off each other. It looked true, like they're really trying to break up a fight here. And we got away from that where it was just more like, no. I saw it the other night. No, hey, you guys stop. They're just waving their fucking hands, and nothing's stopping. They're just there waving. They're just like literally like, no, like, So tonight, seeing it like somebody trying to actually fucking stop a fight from happening or saving this guy's life, essentially. Anyway, so what happened if you weren't there to watch? Is apparently, Gunther came down there. He's not happy with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee for their, constant eating and just talking shit on him. And, it was kind of one of them keep my name out your mouth, keep my name out your mouth, motherfuckers moments there. But they come down, or he comes out, grabs Cole up first. He shoves the shit out of McAfee, like shoves him out off the camera onto the ground. Grabs Cole by his damn collar and then throws him in a rear naked choke. And he's about to choke out Michael Cole. Well, here comes McAfee with a forearm shiver to the head to get him off of Cole. And it does the job. It gets him off of Cole. And then he just snatches up McAfee and then chokes the life out of him. Like, holds the choke in. Again, I go back to the security thing. They're trying to hold him back. Holds the choke in for a minute. Like, it's in there for a good while. And he really sells that he gets knocked out from it. He's like, oh, he's choking, he's coughing. They're carrying him to the back. It's real. They did a real HBK passing out in the ring moment where everything got real quiet on the mic. Like there wasn't no announcers talking because Cole's not on the headset now, and obviously McAfee's on the headset. So you're not getting any commentary. You're just kind of watching the event unfold, and it's that like eeriness of there's no commentary, and it's like, oh, is this real? They're trying to get it real. We all know it's not real. Like he didn't really come out there and fucking hurt nobody, but they're selling it like that's what happened. And that's all we want, right? We know it's not real. Just like I fucking know Breaking Bad's not real. Like I know The Sopranos isn't real. But making it feel real is fun. And that's what draws you in, right? It was this, that, the editor, this, editor, that. No. We got drawn in to those characters back in the day. Because we thought there was a hint of suspicion that maybe, I don't know, this other shit's fake. I don't know. That guy looks like he was really trying to fucking kill that other guy. And in so many different moments in the Attitude Era when they, in the early, I don't even know if they were calling it the Attitude Era, 97. Great, best year of wrestling in my opinion. When they were really pushing it, getting that stuff over before the boom happened. It's what brought us the boom. It was how they were doing that stuff. So they were doing that here, and it was good. They get all the way to the back. They get McAfee to the nurse's station, and Michael Cole is telling Adam Pearce, like, no, I'm not going to be bullied into doing my job and, speaking my mind and, blah, blah, blah. And they kind of lean into some political, climate stuff of, like, being able to say what you want to fucking say. None of this cancel culture shit. Like, no, you're not going to come protest outside my building and break shit, and I ain't going to be able to speak my mind in this country, or my mind as an employee of WWE on the mic and what I think of a match or what I think of a heel or whatever. And he leans into that, and he's talking about it, and then Michael, to a good thunderous applause, comes back to the desk, where Joe Tessitore is now set up, and they're doing the talking and stuff. Say hey if you're in the chat, drop a like, drop a follow. They come out, he's talking about it, and I wrote down here it was a good promo from, if you want to call it a promo, great promo from Cole. once he got back during the Penta Dom where they were wrestling, he's just going on about this. Like, we can't be, let to be, we should be able to speak our minds, and we should be able to do our jobs out here without being attacked, and la da da da. And he brought LeBron and Stephen A. about how LeBron didn't put his hands on Stephen A. They talked it out. If you got something to say, if you think I'm wrong, just come talk to me. Don't come up here and grab me and blah, 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 blah. So they lean into that kind of going on in the sports world a little bit. And so I like it. I give that a B+. That was really good. Actually, I'd give it an A. That's a really good segment there. So coming out of that, we get, as we're coming out of that, and in the middle of that, we get the new reigning, defending Dominic Mysterio comes out, and he's doing, he's going to be wrestling Penta tonight. So I was kind of curious how this is going to go, because we saw the women's tag belts change hands earlier tonight. I'm like, man, they're about to just do this to Dom. They're about to take him right away off of him. And he's got the guy Penta there, and you're like, fuck, man, are they about to do this? And that was my initial thoughts, because Finn's there, he's being all wily, and like, oh, like, you don't know what he's going to do. Like, is he going to fuck him over? He's like, And anyway, he ends up being a pretty good match. They do some stuff, and JD McDonough makes his return. Yay, whatever, don't care. He comes back, kind of helps Dom pick up the win by jacking up Penta and getting him set up for the 619. And Dom picks up the victory here. So yeah, Dom retains. That was cool. Didn't really advance anything in the IC division storyline, I would say. Liv and her girl run out there, Raquel, with their belts, and they all kind of celebrate in the hallway because they got all this gold now coming out of Mania and Raw after. And so good night for the Judgment Day as far as that goes. But then they're still showing Finn being all weird. Like, he wants to be the man of the group. He wants some gold. He wants a belt. And it's like, yeah, but last time we gave you a big push, Finn, you fucking hurt yourself in the middle of it. And he ain't really ever been back on track since, it don't seem like. Ever since that Universal title he lost many moons ago. But so I don't know. I don't know where they're going right there with the IC title at this point. I want it on Dom. I want to see where it goes, though. Is it just going to be leading to a Finn thing? Kind of feels that way right now. I guess that's all right. I don't know. I just want to see Dom have it for a long time. I think he deserves it. I think he's over big time. I think he was over before this, even as a heel. People love to hate him. Now they're going to love to cheer him and hate him, even though he can be the anti-hero the whole time. He's still doing dastardly, dirty Dom shit, but we eat it up just like Eddie. Eddie did the same thing, right? He used to take his boot off. He used to do all kind of weird, fucked up heel moves, but we all applauded him like a babyface for doing it. And it seems like they can just ride that. Like, I think that's what they should do, and that's what they're going to do. I just don't know where you really put him with, because I don't care about Balor. I don't care about the Judgment Day. I don't care about them breaking up or sitting together. But I just, I don't want it to leave Dom and go to Finn or anything like that. But we'll see. We'll see what they do with there. So rolling out of that, we go right into the end of the show. The show went by. And I skipped over the Uso stuff. So if you're here in the chat, please let me know what happened there, because I did miss out on that entirely. And let me know what y'all are seeing on that. So, but yeah, we get the Rollins promo. He comes out with Heyman, his new wise man, and he's letting us all know that he stole Roman's wise man, and he stole CM Punk's best friend in Paul Heyman. And he tries to get going on even speaking. Really didn't tell us much other than that. Punk's music hits. He comes storming down to the ringside area. They go immediately into a brawl. They're brawling. He gets Seth down. He stomps him out the corner. Then he turns his attention to Paul Heyman. Gets in there, gets his mitts on Paul Heyman, shoves him into the corner. Seth saves Paul from behind. Hits Punk with a curb stomp. And Punk's laid out. So then he's enjoying his fruits of his labor and messing up Punk. Heyman grabs the mic and lets us all know that Seth Rollins is the reigning, defending #1 star in this industry. Weird way of saying it. Didn't really know what he was trying to do there. But he names it Rollins is our #1 star of this company. And that he is going to be, the number one star of the company. That's what he said. That's all he had to say to us. So he does that, and then the OTC music hits. Tribal Chief's in the house. He's running down. OTC comes down, and he takes care of business. I don't know what I'm saying there. Takes care of business. He didn't take care of shit. Sorry, folks. I'm new at this. Roman runs down. He does. He comes. He hits a spear on Rollins. Looks like he's about to fuck up Rollins good. He actually gets on a Superman punch on Heyman. And then it's like, oh, he's not done with Heyman yet. So here he comes doing with Heyman. And then out of nowhere, didn't pick him up coming in the ring. You just see Roman getting... At first I thought it was Punk or Seth that had did it. And then you realize, oh, it's a hooded man that's speared as well, Roman. And then for a split hair of a second, I was like, is it fucking Goldberg? But then moving away too quick to be Goldberg, right? So it's like, no, that can't be Goldberg. Like all within like a microcosm of a second in my mind, I thought Goldberg. Rips it off, and I kind of popped for this. Braun Breaker. What a way to elevate Braun Breaker. I like it. I like it a lot. Immediately comes in. He's looking like a fucking mad bull. And then he takes out fucking Roman. And then he kind of turns. Him and Seth are looking at each other, do a little thing there. They're kind of like selling, we don't know what's going on. But at the same time, you're like, I kind of know what's going on. Well, then out of nowhere, he runs right by Seth and spears a Punk coming back in the ring as well. Takes him out. And then Seth starts selling on his face. Ha, ha, ha. We're in cahoots. Then he starts, directing traffic on Breaker. Like, Breaker's going to be his little muscle man now. Like, he's going to do the fucking up of shit for a little while here for Seth. They're really just trying to elevate Braun here as, and I think it's a good thing. Get him in that mix. It's a good way to get him in the mix, too. So I don't hate it. We'll see what they do with it. But for tonight, as we in Raw, I liked it. So he goes outside, runs around the ring, spears Reigns to the fucking wall, leaves him laying. And, that's kind of when we end Raw. We've got a new faction, folks, in the WWE. It's going to be Paul Heyman with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker now. So, and I still think, going back to what we talked about earlier, let's bring Becky into that. Let's get Heyman's influence down in the women's division. Let's sell those T-shirts. I'm a Paul Heyman girl. They'll sell like hotcakes. Let's get them out there. So that was Raw after Mania. Let me know what you thought. I know I've seen some people have popped in and out tonight. They didn't stay long. That's probably my fault. It's my first show, so I'm gonna try to keep getting better at this and talking about it. I'm gonna try to start bringing in guests. Kind of hard to. The product's hard for a lot of people. My best bud, he wants to do the show and everything, but it's a slog. This product is a slog, no doubt about it. But tonight was good. Tonight was a win. It was good to see a good wrestling show. I thought overall it was a quality wrestling show, and I hope it's just not one of them things. And it could possibly be, because that's what. And let me go on a little diatribe here. We would see these good Raw after Manias when in Vince's time. Last 10, 15 years, when they really made a thing out of the Raw after Mania. When I was growing up as a kid, it was just Raw. Raw was always fucking good. I was watching in 95, and I know people didn't like them all, but I always liked it. I was always a Raw fan. But when you got to the heat, meat and potatoes, the attitude and everything, every Raw was just good. That's kind of where they blew their load on so much, was the Raw. And then they would try to get you to buy the pay-per-view to see how this was all going to finish out. And then they would still progress storylines through that pay-per-view. Sometimes watching a pay-per-view in the Attitude Era, I felt like you were just watching an extended Raw at the time. Because there would be storylines happening through the pay-per-view. And you'd still get your big matches that had been built and all that. But they would always be progressing the story in some way. And in the last 15 years or so, it feels like they've made more of a thing about the Raw after WrestleMania. It's just this big old deal they like to do. And I really hope this isn't just them blowing their load on that. They've shown they can put together quality shows. Give us this same... I know there's not going to be all the shock and awe of of a turn every week, or of a, debut or anything like that. Not that, I know Rusev debuted. McDonough came back. I don't really count them that much as being there. They didn't that wasn't the reason the show was good. You know, that's like the lower tier part of the show being good. Like that, it was fine, it was great, but it wasn't why the show was good. The show was good because they gave a story. Keep giving us quality story each and every Monday night, please. And on Fridays, whatever y'all got going on over there on SmackDown, we'll check that. We're going to be on here live streaming Friday as well, or at least having a review up. Please give us something like that on Friday night. Like, anytime wrestling's on the TV, I want story. I want storylines. I want driven storylines. Give us that. Tonight shows they can do it. They're not completely incompetent. We left last night thinking Triple H don't know what the fuck he's doing. We thought he knew what the fuck he's doing. Maybe he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. But he shows tonight he knows what he's doing. So just do it. Like, what's the excuse? And I'm sure there's plenty of people out there reviewing right now that can poke holes through all this and didn't like it. I've been watching wrestling for 30 years. I liked it. And I'm harder on modern wrestling more than anybody. And I liked it. And if they can keep this up, hey man, sky's the limits. If you're in the chat, say what's up. Got a question? Let me know what you thought about Raw. Yeah, so I'd like to know what everybody else thought, because I actually, like I said, I enjoyed it. Breaker is he's going to be a star. I still think he's pretty green. I don't know. I worry. I mean, I like how they're doing this more of a muscle thing. I don't know what we'll see him as far as like really vying for a belt or anything right now. I don't think we need to. We just need to build him up as a main eventer. And because he's green, let's not be lost on us that this dude was just in NXT. You know, what did he do? Like 2 years in NXT, maybe. He was there for a minute, but he ain't been in wrestling too very long. It's been like since around the pandemic or coming out of the pandemic that I remember him kind of jumping on the scene. So he's green. He's a greenhorn, man. So he looks like $1 million. Obviously, they don't feel strong about his talking. And that's why I go back to what I was saying earlier. A lot of these guys can wrestle. That's the biggest problem with a lot of these young talents. And if you're with me in the chat, let me know if you agree. Is they can wrestle. Most of them can go. They can put on quality matches. But not all of them. But I'd say most of them can put on quality matches. But what I gather from pretty much each and every one of them is they can't talk. They can't. They try to do these little acting skits. They come off like they're in porns. They come off like they're porno actors. So, I hate that Heyman seems to be the only manager allowed to be out there ever. I don't consider some pretty hot chick, like with the Alpha Academy out there talking. She's terrible. She's another one. She can't talk. She can't even. They have no believability to them at all when they open their mouths. So many of these people. So, and that's why people are so endeared to the Heyman thing, is he can make you believe without doing anything. He's just over there being fat, and you're like totally bought into anything he does or says. They need to farm more people like that, more talkers, more personality. So at least you get mics. Okay, you know, pick a star. You know, oh, you can't really talk, you can't really act. Okay, well let's get a mouthpiece with you guys. They're gonna talk you up. We might let you say 2 or 3 things, but they're gonna do the bulk of the talking, and you're gonna go out and work your ass off and get over that way. And we're all going to be happy, you know. We got so far away from managers. I know Vince was doing that there, you know, in the last decade or so, like just, if not longer than that, like kind of in the Attitude Era. They sounded oddly were cutting out managers a little bit then too, but like, I miss a good old manager. I mean, some of the most beloved people in wrestling are managers, right? So, but anyway, so it looks like we got nobody here in the stream, so hey, I appreciate it. If you did watch along. Kind of new to this, so we're going to just try to keep it on a consistent basis, talking about the product, and I'm going to try to chop these videos up, get them out on the channel, so definitely like and subscribe to my channel. It'd mean a lot to me. I love talking wrestling. I want to talk wrestling. I want to help build a community here, other people like talking wrestling with me. Good, bad, or indifferent, your opinion's always welcome. I'm not a company man by any stretch of the imagination. I do think it's better than AEW. I've tried to watch AEW at points. There was a time where I was a little captured, but I'm not going to follow it, just to be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and bury it either, because if I'm not going to watch it, I'm not going to bury it. So, but from what my experience with it, it's not for me. They do something different over there I'm not really down with. I like story. And as long as we can keep the momentum of tonight and do it every freaking Raw, then maybe we can have a semblance of what we used to feel for this great sport. And hopefully avoid any more miscues like we saw last night. But anyway, so thank you again if you did drop in. Hopefully you dropped in and dropped a like. Hope you'll come back and check it out. But that'll be it for tonight. See you guys next time. Check out the WrestleMania review I'm going to try to get out this week. And see you next time. Peace.